What are you Garen players doing, level 1? Hi everybody, hope you're all having a great day so far. Thanks for tuning in and stopping by to today's video, where aspiring and up-and-coming Garen players will definitely want to go ahead and watch this one to the end. In today's video, we're going to talk about Garen's level 1. You know, I spent a little bit of time thinking about how I could deliver this video to you guys, and today, after collecting my thoughts long enough, I'm going to go ahead and talk about why most Garen players are playing their level 1 completely wrong. So what do I mean by all that? I've coached hundreds of Garen players in my time, and as a coach, I've gotten on call with so many clients who have started up their game of League of Legends, path to their tower, and then...
He's just standing there, menacingly!
So again, I'm not here to flame anybody, nor am I here to point out anybody specifically, but in today's video, let's go ahead and cover some things that you should do as a Garen player at level 1. And the overview for what we're going to cover is basically going to be around a central theme where I encourage you as a Garen coach to go ahead and be proactive. And what I mean by that is not being at your tower, not just idling, checking Facebook, texting your mom that you love her, doing your homework, or any of the aforementioned. You want to be able to go ahead and play aggressive or play proactive. And there's several ways you can do that. Let's go ahead and list some examples. So let's say you're level 1 as Garen and you have time before minions spawn. There are a lot of places that you can go ahead and proactively ward before minions actually arrive to lane. And getting early vision is actually really, really impactful because sometimes it's better to know how the enemy jungler is pathing so that way you can dictate the wave manipulation that you're going to implement as the laning phase pans out for its first few minutes. For example, it's probably really unwise to go ahead and push in your opponent when the enemy Lee Sin on red is going to be able to path up level 2 and gank you. So what can we do as a Garen player to help stop all of this? Use your ward early. So let's say, for example, I'm on the red side of the map and I want to go ahead and ward the blue. And I want to see and confirm where the jungler is starting. I will go ahead and dip into river here and often scout for vision. Sometimes the enemy top laner will be here, sometimes they're not. You have to be very careful invading solo, especially if you don't have any backup, because it can lead to a really, really bad situation. However, if you are taking Phase Rush Garen, or if you're taking Ghost Flash Garen, oftentimes you can get away from a lot of situations as long as you're careful. My favorite ward to probably hit on the blue side of the map, if I'm starting a red side, is a ward over the wall here. So I can go ahead and see not only the Gromp, but the blue as well. You have to be really, really mindful of the ward here. You want to guide it just a little bit more to the left, which will allow you to confirm the Gromp. So the second ward probably does a better job. But oftentimes you'll see the jungler heading to the Gromp that this placement doesn't have to be pixel perfect as long as you can see both camps or the proximity of both camps. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side of the map. Let's say you're going ahead and invading red side on blue side. You could typically go ahead and just get a ward here. That ward's really good. Or you could go ahead and get a ward here if you feel like they might be pathing down. There's a lot of proactive wards that can happen, be convenient for you if you just think about where to place them. It also can be subjective too to the lane that you're playing as well. Let's go ahead and talk about for you Garen mid lane players out there. Let's go ahead and spawn minions here really quickly. And for the mini wave, there is definitely a way you can play it. So you can proactively ward. So let's say we got a mini wave going here, and my opponent's just standing there menacingly, right? We'll go ahead and shove in the wave, hard shove level 1. This is really, really good if your opponent does not have a hard amount of wave clear early. So what you can do is here, shove the wave. It's a little desync because I didn't practice at all, but you want to either shove in the wave level 1, level 2, and get that wave to hard crash. Garen spins very, very valuable level 1 for being able to go ahead and push in waves. And then as that wave crashes, you can go ahead and ward over the wall here and get early intel for Raptors. Usually at this stage, if you go ahead and ward it around the 230 to 245 mark, you'll either have the jungler on Raptors or they're about to take it, or if they're gone, you can kind of ascertain that they're going ahead and pathing up or pathing down respectively, depending on what side of the map you're on. So early warding tactics like this are really, really valuable. What we'll also cover really quickly is the infamous level 1 proxy that has been popularized by a lot of European and North American high-ranking Garen players. Sunlight is one of them. This is a strategy where if you're facing versus an opponent who's most likely able to punish you level 1 or level 2, you can go ahead and technically stack up a gigantic wave by proxying it level 1. What you're going to want to do here is not exactly get rid of the wave, but more so drag it so that way it's delayed actually reaching to the lane. Your lane opponent is not going to be able to actually counter you, because if they actually try chasing you to level 1, it's not only going to allow them to miss out on minions, but they're going to waste a lot of time doing that. The same applies to the jungler too, because they'll often be occupied taking the level 1 buff, whether it be red buff or blue buff. So we're going to go ahead and wait for this wave to go ahead and approach here. We're going to go ahead and just pull the wave. Again, our goal is to not go ahead and defeat the mini wave. We want to make sure they're not touching it. We basically want to hold this wave as long as we can. We're going to take a lot of minion damage here. And then what we can typically do is just go ahead and execute ourselves. So what this wave will do is go ahead and stack up. Where if we respawn, now we'll go ahead and rush back to lane. We'll use our Q. And by the time this mini wave swings back to us, it's going to be gigantic. This not only allows us to go ahead and farm under tower safely to be able to accumulate levels 2 and 3, but it also allows the opponent to play in a wave state, or disallows the opponent, I should say, the ability to freeze early on, which can be very, very valuable in some select matchups. For example, Pantheon, Darius, Fiora. The list goes on and on. Granted, though, there are risks to this strategy. You want to make sure that your jungler is not pathing up, because you are not going to have priority in this type of wave state, especially manipulating the wave so much so early. And you also have to be very, very precise with farming minions under tower. This is a safe way to get the stack mini wave. However, there's a high likelihood you're not going to get all the minions on this wave, because Garen's attack damage plus Thorn Shield is not going to be sufficient enough to get all the random casters that are basically chunked on top of some select melee minions. But if you can get the majority of them on top of the cannon, this is a really, really good way to play the game and to play safe without having to expend an early health potion or to mess up your health bar. So here is an advanced level 1 play for all you Garen gamers out there who want to be able to take their aggression level 1 to the next level. I identify that I'm not only versus a mage top lane for this matchup, but I'm also playing versus a mage jungler. And both champions are not really good at fighting level 1. So what I do here is I invade with the sole premise of trying to get vision, because I have a high suspicion that Karthus is going to go ahead and start blue. So what are we going to do? We're going to try to invade this guy level 1 with no jungle help, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can blow up this guy and not only take blue, but also kill him at the same time. So we go ahead and wait in this brush here, which allows me to have just the right amount of vision to see that Karthus and Kennen are both confirmed, and Kennen is going ahead and leashing for Karthus. This is a great opportunity for me to go ahead and invade. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait a few seconds after blue spawns, wait for Kennen to lay the premises, take the blast cone, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and jump and spin on this Karthus. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, so I don't know what the current HP of the blue buff is. This is all just a blind assessment. Go ahead and blast cone over the wall here. Pop my ghost. I see Karthus critically low. I go ahead and start spinning. Go ahead and proc phase rush to go ahead and get the slow resistance. Try to navigate around the Q. And then they go ahead and flash here, and then walking out like a boss and a pro, I not only solo kill Karthus for first blood, but take his blue at the same time, setting him back at least a minute in his full clear. This is one of the most dangerous but highly effective strategies that you can do level 1 with Garen. Invading the enemy jungler. Because even if I wasn't successful in getting the blue and killing Karthus, I'm at least getting him critically low enough to be able to hold this clear and force him to recall. Again, this strategy, guys, is very dangerous, and you have to know what you're doing. So, you guys can see on the minimap here that Karthus is pathing up. He is that livid that I invaded him level 1. So, I automatically suspected this was going to be the case. Thankfully, I'm taking Nullifying Orb. And now I can hit level 2 before he attempts to dive. So I already know he's in that brush there. I'm going to get dove. This man wants his revenge. I take a little bit of damage here, which is definitely my fault. So it's my goal to go ahead and try to outplay this. But let's go ahead and see what ends up happening here. So they're firing their stuff at me. I go ahead and use W. Karthus taking a lot of aggro here, so he has to end up conceding. I take a little bit of damage here from Kennen, that Nullifying Orb procs, and I get an equal 1-for-1 trade. I miss a little bit of minions here, but I am already well ahead in gold by picking up 2 kills, including First Blood, and I have a full scaling rune page that I realistically don't care that I die at that moment. I have already set Karthus so far behind that Shyvana is level 4 and Karthus is level 2. I won't showcase the rest of this game here, but I will definitely go ahead and spoil it, guys. We end up winning And I have to say, getting into Karthus' head from the 2-minute mark in League of Legends was definitely a big card of influence that I put on the table in terms of my own solo queue impact. Please, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, not only like it, not only subscribe, but the most important thing is to stop standing at your tower level 1. Think about how you can help your team. Even just fist bump with them is something proactive you can do level 1. I'm definitely all for that. But please let me know in the comments down below what you guys do with Garen level 1. Do you guys initiate some secret handshake? Are you guys an invading type as a Garen player? Do you guys like invading the jungler? Do you guys like getting deep vision down? I want to hear your strategies. Thanks so much to my Patreon supporters for financially supporting me, giving me the time and resources to be able to continue making great videos for you guys at patreon.com/RISTE. Also want to give a special shout out to all my coaching clients who have also financially supported me as well. They are fantastic, and I do want a PSA that right now I'm running discounted rates on my coaching services. I've coached over 100 clients, and I'd love to help you guys bring your Garen to the next level. You can find a link to not only my Patreon, but my coaching services in the description below. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys out there on Summoner's Rift and Demacia, baby. See you later, gamers.
I will take these
To Summoner's Rift.
my kingdom awaits.
Okay, I'm good, right? I'm good, recover. Okay, we're good. Oh, we're good. Oh, okay, I'm not good, but we're good. We're good.